look at Bobby Rahal. Rahal desperate for a win this season. As we mentioned at starting, it's traditional for Rahal to get stronger as the season goes on. He knows that he still has a chance at the PPG IndyCar World Championship, and he's doing everything he can to try to get Michael Andretti and get past. Michael, by the same token, is fully aware that if he stays in front, it's a little bit of a clear run. There's the 27 car as they try to push it off the circuit. That's Ross Bentley. Whoa! A terrible situation here. Yellow flags come out. And they're calling for an ambulance immediately. The Ross Bentley car was off the edge of the course. They were trying to get it restarted. The pace car will come out. The field slows down. Now see what they're doing. The chief steward said they would do that so they could avoid the chicane if necessary. So some advanced thinking here has paid off. On board with Michael now. That's a terrible thing to see.
It's a real bad thing.
The corner marshals are all volunteers, and they do everything they can to help. For the most part, they are unpaid, for the majority part. So we're certainly concerned about that. We'll keep track of it. And Michael Andretti comes into the pits, but locks it up and loses it as he comes into his pit. He's sideways. It sounds like the engine has died as well.
The engine has died. I'm not really sure what happened.
Rahal came in right behind him. They both lost it. So suddenly a whole series of events here on lap number 17. Michael coming into the pits. They're going to try to get him around, get it restarted. They already have a jack under the back end of Michael's car so they can turn it. Rahal tries to get his car into his pit as well. His crew still waits for him. At the same time, Al Unser Jr. comes in and makes a stop, goes back out into the action. A definite help for Al Unser Jr. Rahal trying to get his car around. He's up at the pit entrance. And this is a critical situation here because someone else could come in. You see the Porsche car making its stop. Now Rahal finally gets it going. Michael Andretti, the team working on the car, trying to get it back. There's Raul Boisel. He makes a stop as well, but this doesn't appear to be routine. They're working on that car. Rick Mears makes a stop at the same time. So with this full course yellow, a number of serious situations developing. And Michael Andretti rolls back to the fight. Rahal back to the fight. Both these cars sideways. It looked like Michael lost it, and then Rahal kicked it sideways to avoid hitting Michael.
What a turn of events here. Coming out on top is Al Unser Jr. Nice, clean pit stop, but not for Michael and Bobby.
One thing that we did, in fact, expect here was the possibility of sudden occurrences. In the ARS race before this one, they had a series of very strange changes as well. So that's certainly what's happened here as we're under our second full course caution of the day. And the situation developed when one of the course marshals trying to get Ross Bentley's car, in fact, perhaps more than one, injured as they tried to get it back onto the circuit. And we'll keep on top of that story, but we're also not going to speculate. So Al Unser Jr., all of the front runners, with the exception of Danny Sullivan, make their stops, and as a result, Danny Sullivan lines up at the front of the order in first place ahead of Emerson Fittipaldi. We'll be right back. As we are spending a few moments in the Bobby Rahal pit, teammate to this car, Al Unser Jr., after his stop, little Al came out in 5th place. The Penske team decided with this caution they were going to just sit and wait, and by doing so put Danny Sullivan and Emerson Fittipaldi at the start of the order. Scott Goodyear in 3rd place, Mario Andretti in 4th, then Al Unser Jr., this car, then Eddie Cheever, then Rick Mears, then Michael Andretti, John Andretti, Teo Fabi, and Bobby Rahal. Now there are a number of reports of what happened both on the track and in the pits. Scott Pruitt, perhaps first we should review. Ross Bentley was being pushed back onto the course. Then what happened?
Ross Bentley was being pushed back on the course and looked like the corner worker jumped out of the way. And in a bad situation, Willie was right there and just had no place to go. It looks like he just clipped him from the side, and it's tough to speculate exactly what happened, but from this vantage point.
All right, and then as they came into the pits, it looked like Rahal may have gotten together with Michael Andretti. Let's get an update from Gary Gerald.
Paul, we've just checked with Barry Green. We watched Bobby Rahal eventually get to the pit. They made a routine change. We couldn't see damage. Barry said it appeared that they hit him straight on with the nose, which is one of the strongest points. No apparent damage to the front wing, so it looks like Rahal is okay. Now let's go to the far end of the pit. Lynn St. James with one of the Andretti crewmen to update that end.
Gary, I am with Tim Colfine, who is the right rear tire changer from the Andretti team. Tim, what did you see?
Michael was turning in to come into the pit, and Rahal drilled him in the rear end.
That's what spun him around then.
Right, it spun both of them around. See, you got to stop, darn near stop to come in these pits. Bobby's all the way at the other end. He's probably want to get down there as quick as possible, but we got to stop too right here.
You used the jack to be able to get the car turned around. Other than that, was there any damage on the car?
We couldn't see any visible damage, and we asked him to be careful to make sure nothing's wrong, but he hasn't reported anything.
Well, good quick action here. A lot of things happening that are not part of what we normally see on a racetrack. Gary, or Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Lynn. All right, so we at least have that situation understood now. They were coming into the pits, taking advantage of the full course caution, and Rahal just got back into the back end of Michael, which was different than our original speculation, and that gave them both a quick little spin. Fortunately for them, because it was occurring during the time that they were on full course caution, it probably has not cost them nearly as much as it would have if they had done it under the green flag. So Sullivan and Fittipaldi lead this field, and behind the pace truck, Scott Goodyear with the stops is now running up in third place, followed by Mario Andretti and then Al Unser Jr. We'll be under full course caution for quite a bit here. We'll be back. Full course caution caused when two of the course marshals here were injured as they tried to get Ross Bentley's car back into the action, and Willie T. Ribbs came through. Yellow flag flying. There you see the signal from the starter. One more lap to go. Both of the course marshals were sent to local hospitals now. They've been transported. A broken ankle and a broken jaw. So far, all the information we have, but the good news is none of that is life-threatening. The field working their way around now. Some emotional apprehension from some of the other course marshals here. You don't see that often. So now let's go down to the pits and get a further update.